Hello friends, here we'll be discussing the advanced businesses and the financial management, module A, the management process, and here you first unit, the basics of the management, part 2. So see, previously in the previous session we have discussed the two theory, right? Classical and the neoclassical. Now friends, see here the neoclassical theory gives rise to the Maslow's hierarchy of need theory. Got it? So previously we have discussed the two theory. Okay, first is the classical. Okay, first was the classical and second was the neoclassical, or also called as the behavioral, right? But that neoclassical and the behavioral theory give rise to the Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Okay, so here we'll see the Maslow's need hierarchy theory is also called as the Maslow's need hierarchy theory or hierarchy of the needs. So friends, see, basically see, everybody has some needs, right? So when our one need fulfill, the automatically second will generate, right? So obviously need is the thing which never finishes, right? First if you need suppose a bike, then after purchasing bike you may think that you should have some car. After car you may think that you will have some foreign branded car like Mercedes or the BMW. That means we can say need never ends up. Okay, need is the once one need fulfill, then second need automatically generates. Okay, so see here the Maslow's need hierarchy theory. Okay, according to the Maslow, he has classified the total needs into five category, or five needs are five levels of the needs are there. Hierarchy means what? In our organization we are having hierarchy, like we are having clerical staff, then officers, then we have the manager, senior manager, chief manager, then the general manager. Like that there is a hierarchy in the banks. In the same way, Maslow has defined the needs into the hierarchy. Okay, so see here, first according to him, the first is the physiological needs. Okay, second is the safety need, third is the love and belonging needs, fourth is the self-esteem need, and fifth is the self-actualization need. So you have to remember that. Okay, so order also you have to remember. First is the physiological, second is safety, then you go for the belonging and love, then self-esteem and the self-actualization. So friends, you can see here, what do you mean by physiological needs? Physiological means basic needs like a food, water, shelter, sleep. These are the physiological needs. Okay, physiological needs. Okay, very basic needs. Now what are the safety needs? So for example, it may be a job safety, health safety, environment safety. So these can be the safety needs. Then what about the love and belonging needs? So at this level you can find, you will see, once you get the food, water, shelter, then you can seek for the job, good health, good environment, right? If you achieve this, then you can seek for the strong bonds, love and relationship. So here in the love and belonging needs, you will find, you will go to the public meetings, then some marriage functions, like that you can seek that, because once you fulfill the one need, the second need automatically arises. So once you fulfill the third need, you will go to the higher need level, that is self-esteem. Here self-confidence, respect and reputation. So once you have some once you fulfill the love and belonging needs, you will seek for the self-confidence, respect from the people, reputation in the society, that is the self-esteem needs. If you fulfill that, you will go to the next level, that is self-actualization needs. What do you mean by it? Here the morality, spontaneity and the acceptance. So here this is the highest level, self-actualization. So you will be reaching here, say suppose at the age of 70 or 60 plus, right? So here you will be having self-actualization, you will be morally very strong. That means here you will, at the age of say 65, you will not seek to earn money by any illegal way, right? If you found here suppose 5 lakh rupees or suppose 50,000, you will return it, because you are in the self-actualization need. You will have a very high moral, right? And you will have the acceptance level. That means you are perfectly mature here in the fifth level of need, that is self-actualization need. Okay, so these are the needs you have to understand. Okay, so first thing, for exam point of view, you should understand you should remember. What do you mean by the physiological needs? Very basic, you can easily remember. Then level you have to remember: physiological needs, safety needs, love and belonging needs, self esteem needs, and self actualization needs. Okay, that you have to remember. Now see the summary. We will see the need hierarchy theory of the summary. Okay, so summary of the need hierarchy theory. Human beings have wants and desires which influences their behavior. Obviously, what you want and what is your desire will directly reflect into the your behavior, obviously, right? But only unsatisfied need influences the behavior. If you are fully satisfied, okay, then how you can behave, right? You will not behave. For example, if you are fully satisfied, right, if you are fully satisfied, that means you have eaten a lot of, your stomach is full. Then if you see the very any sweet item, you will not react because your stomach is already full, you have eaten a lot, right? So that means your need is satisfied, then you will not behave. And if you are very hungry and you find you find any sweet item or any rice to eat, right? So you will obviously you will rush and you will try to eat it. That means very simple. The answer, if your needs are unsatisfied, then only it will influence the behavior. If you are satisfied, then your needs, your behavior will not going to influence by your needs. Okay, now see, since needs are many, they are arranged in order of importance from the basic to the complex. So obviously, what is the basic needs? Your need will move from one to higher level, lower to higher level, basic to complex. So initially our needs are very simple. You only need a basic some item to eat, like a food and shelter. Then you go for the job, then you seek for the your lovable peoples, right? Then marriage, then you will seek for some respect in the society, then you seek for the self actualization needs, like that. Okay, that means one by one your needs are going to increase. Meanwhile, you can seek for the house, then you can seek for the car, like that. That means your needs are changing from basic to complex. The person advances to the next level of need only after the lower level of need is least minimally satisfied. So obviously, once need is satisfied, then only you can go to the higher level, right? Suppose you are going from your home to the office, right? So how to go home to office? So there is a bus available. So initially you will go by the bus, you will pay some rent for the bus and you will go to the office. Then you will get tired after some time, so you will say no, I will now go by purchase my motorbike, and using motorbike you go from home to office. So you are now satisfied with the motorbike, then you are got promoted, you got a money, so you will, your need will rise, you will purchase the car. So in that way, once the first need is satisfied, then only you will go to the higher need, provided first need at least minimum it should be satisfied, right? Now further the progress up the hierarchy, the more individually humanness and the psychological health of person will exhibit. What do you mean by that? That means once you move here the triangle from lower need to the higher needs. Okay, once you move from lower need to the higher need, what happen? You will show what? You will show the humanness, you will show the psychological health will exhibit. Means what? Once you are moving from lower needs to higher needs, if you reach here, okay, that means your lower needs are fulfilled and it is satisfied. Then at the higher level you will show the maturity, so once the person reaches at the self actualization, you can say it is highly mature, because it will exhibit in his how he behave. Okay, so humanness and the psychological health of a person will exhibit. Okay, obviously it will show once once the needs has been fulfilled. Now the next theory we'll discuss is the Douglas McGrath's X and Y theory. So this is very easy theory. Okay, X and Y theory, it is given by the Douglas McGrath. Okay, so see here what he say he gave an insight to the two aspects of the human behavior. According to X and Y means basically he give the theory of X and Y. He, according to the Douglas, two persons are there, category X and category Y. So theory X stated that humans do not work without close supervision, right? So according to theory X, you are not going to work if nobody is supervising you. And theory Y says that human love to work, and Y say yes. Yes, why for yes, we love to work, and there is no need of coercing them to work for achieving the organizational goals. Okay, so theory X says that if you are not observing, monitoring, controlling the employee, they will not work. But why say yes? You employee will work, they love to work. Humans love to work according to Y theory. Okay, and there is no need of coercing, means though there is no need of pressurizing employee, giving them targets, harassing them. No need of anything, no need of supervision according to theory Y. So you think which theory is good? Right, all employees say Y theory is good. Theory Y is human love to work, and they will no need of their no need of them coercing, that means no need of them harassing or the pressurizing, no need of supervision. But theory X says they don't want to work, they have to be supervised. Okay, these are very easy theory. Now theory X is what? Theory X says that the humans or the employee will not work and they need to be supervised. Okay, this is the theory X, but you should have some assumption before that theory. So theory assumes that average human being is inherently lazy by nature. This theory assumes that humans are lazy and that's why they need to be supervised, and desire to work less or little as little possible. So according to them, this theory has already assumed that humans are lazy and they will try to avoid the work. They are disliking the work, they will avoid the work if they can avoid. Okay, that means it is assumed that humans are lazy, right, or the employees are lazy, they don't like to do the work, they will dislike the work, they avoid the work to do. And that's why we assume that the employee needs the supervision. Okay, now the human avoid accepting the responsibility and prefer to lead or directed by some other. This is assumed, that's why according to X theory humans need the supervision. Okay, now the humans are self-centered and indifferent to organizational needs. So they are self-centered and they are not suitable with the goal of the organization, and that's why supervision is needed. This theory assumes that the little ambition, the employee or the humans are having little ambitions, they dislike the responsibility and prefer to be led by but want security. So according to this X theory, humans or the employees are having very less ambition, they don't like the responsibility, and they want only the secured job or job security or the security, and that's why they need to be supervised. Okay, again he is not very intelligent, he lacks the creativity and in solving organizational problems, so and that's why he need to be supervised. By nature humans are resist to change, of any type of change, and that's why he do not want or do not love to work, and that's why he need to be supervised. So understand here. So these are the assumption, and based on that assumption we can say according to theory X, the humans don't want to don't love to work. Okay, and they will not work unless what? Unless they are supervised. Got it? So this is the theory X assumption. Okay, so friends, see theory Y assumption. What theory Y says? See, theory Y says human love to work. Humans are they like to work, they love to work, and they don't need supervision. Okay, so here you see what I am saying. According to theory Y, what is the conclusion of theory Y? Human or the employee, they love to work, and they that's why they don't need to be supervised. Okay, supervision is not necessary. Now see, work is as natural play provided the work environment is favorable. So what are the assumption? We assume that human love work. When human will love to do the work, or they don't need supervision for the work, only if we assume there is a natural play, work is like a natural play, and work environment is also favorable, then only we can assume that there is no need of work supervision. Work may be act as a source of satisfaction or the punishment, an average man is not really against doing work. This is assumed that average man is not against doing work, and that's why human love to work and they will don't need any supervision. Now, people can be self-centered, creative at work, and they are motivated properly, so they don't need supervision. They love to do the work. Self-control on the part of people is useful for achieving the organizational goal. External control and threats of punishment alone do not bring the efforts toward the organizational objective. That means if you threaten an employee about the punishment, then it will not work. It is assumed that if you punish the employee, then they will not good work. Okay, they will not do the good work, and that's why we are assuming that punishment is not a good thing. That's why we can say human can love to work, they love to work, right? And that's why supervision is not required. Again, the people have capacity to exercise imagination and the creativity. We have assumed that, and that's why they are having capacity. We assume our employee have capacity, and based on that assumption we can say our employee love to do the work and they don't need to be supervised. The people are not by nature passive or resistant to organizational needs. They have to become so as a result of the experiences in the organization. So passive or resistance to the organizational need, that means we are not against the objective or goal of our own organization. We are behaving like that because what? Because we got some experiences in the organization. So this is assumption, and based on that we can say that so people love to work, and they don't need to be supervised. Okay, they love to work. Okay, so these are the assumptions of theory Y. Okay, so what you should note here, theory X says that humans are not good, they need to be supervised, and work should be done by them only under supervision. Theory Y says yes. Theory Y says yes, we love to work. Okay, we love to work. Theory Y, yes, and that's why we don't need any supervision according to the theory Y. Very easy, right? Now, motivation or the hygiene theory. Motivation or the hygiene theory. So what do you mean by hygiene here? Hygiene refer to the behavioral or the organizational environment. Okay, so let's discuss it. So what are the hygiene factor? Basically, motivation you got, very simple. Motivation you can easily get, but what is hygiene here? Here hygiene, like it may be the job you are working here, the job security may be there, the salary, it may be the hygiene factor, or whatever the benefits you are getting, compensation, bonuses. So these are the hygiene factor. Okay, now so see one by one. This theory is also called as the two-factor theory. Okay, this theory is also called as the two-factor theory. Remember, motivation and hygiene theory is nothing but the two-factor theory. It is also called as the satisfier or dissatisfier theory of a motivation and the behavior. Okay, two-factor theory. What are two factor? Satisfier, dissatisfier, theory of a motivation and the behavior. And this theory was given by Friedrich Herzberg. This theory was given by Friedrich Herzberg. Okay, Friedrich Herzberg two-factor theory conclude that certain factor in the workplace result in job satisfaction, but if they are absent, they will lead to dissatisfaction. So obviously there are some factor. So for example, in the banking, if I say there is 5-day banking, there is a 5-day banking, we got a 5-day banking, so we are highly satisfied here. And if there is no 5-day banking, then it may lead to the dissatisfaction in the bank employees. Got it? Very simple. Now, the fact that motivate people can change their lifetime, but respect for me as a person is one of the top motivating factor at any stage of the life. So according to the motivation hygiene theory, motivation is very important. So whatever the respect for me as a person is one of the top most motivational factor. For example, so if any employee is there, okay, and that employee is being respected by all staff member, so that employee who is being respected by staff member will feel proud. Okay, he feel that, oh, all my staff is respecting me, how I should behave like wrong. That means I should behave properly, I should do my all work correctly, I should be in time, I should meet my targets in time, because I am most respectful in the organization, right? So that means top motivating factor is what? Respect. Top motivating factor is respect for me as a person. Okay, so if somebody say, yeah, so this is very often in the bank, right? So generally if you talking, say this sir is this is very good, this person is very good, that means the respect for that particular person as a person is highest motivation. Got it? So this is at any stage of life you can observe it. Now he distinguished between, he means who? The theory given by Friedrich Herzberg, and he has distinguished between two factors, that is, one is motivation and second is hygiene. One is motivation and second is hygiene. So what he distinguished, see, motivation. Okay, motivation, what do you mean by it? Motivation means simply challenging work, recognition, responsibility which gave positive satisfaction. Motivation means what? If you have been given some challenging work, okay, so if something has been, work has been allotted and you can do it, only the manager say, I find that only you are the person who can do that challenging work, you will get motivated. Oh, I am only the person, I can do. Okay, recognition, if in the regional head gives you recognition award, that is a employee of the region, so you will be feel motivated. Then responsibility, then a particular responsibility, for example compliance, any compliance matter is there in the region and you have been ordered for that, responsibility is given, so you will say you will feel motivated. So these are the factors, motivation factors, which gives you the positive satisfaction. Now what do you mean by hygiene factor? Here hygiene is completely you have to look after, like hygiene means status, it is like a status, job security. So see, if you are working in the public sector bank, obviously, right? So you are working in the public sector bank, obviously you are having job security. So job security, so people around you will be having respect, you will have some status in the society. Apart from that, your salary will be good, bipartite settlement you are getting, right? Benefits you are getting, LFC, LTC, leave encashment, like that. So we can say that do not motivate if the if present, that means if you are not getting all the things, right? So if you are not getting status due to the job, security, job security, if you are not getting salary on time, right, you are not getting other benefits, then these are the factor, then you will be demotivated. If you are getting this, that means you are doing the work, but if your status is, there is no status, there is no job security, there is no salary or less salary, there is no benefits, then you will be dismotivated, you will be demotivated, right? So these are the factor on present of which you will not get motivated, but on the absence of that you will be demotivated. So what are the hygiene factor? So these are the factor, hygiene factor. So on presence of a hygiene factor, motivation will not come, right? But on in the absence of it, definitely you will get demotivated. Got it? These are the hygiene factor. Got it? So obviously hygiene factor are the factor, if these are not present or the absent, then obviously it will result into the demotivation. Got it? So distinguish between the motivation and and hygiene, you have to distinguish. Now see the quantitative school of management science. So here you can easily refer quantity. So quantity means something you can measure, right? So quantitative school of management developed mainly after World War II and emphasizes for the use of mathematical and statistical models. So obviously when the mathematics is involved, statistics is involved, you can count something, so it is a quantity, obviously, for finding the solution to the managerial problems. The scientific management technique by the Taylor, that is F.W. Taylor, helped in laying down the foundation of these approach. So obviously we all know the principle, scientific management technique given by the Frederick Taylor, that is called as the Taylorism, right? So management is studied as the science under this approach with special emphasis on the operations and the management information system. Okay, now there are some characteristics of the quantitative approach include. So what are the characteristics? Just go through it. Okay, creation of the model. So simple. Quantitative means what? The quantity you can measure. So quantity you can measure is obviously measuring some in the mathematical or statistical tools you are using or the models you will use, right? So first, what are the characteristics? First is the creation of the model. You need to create the model or the theory or some hypothesis. Then you should collect the data. Then development of the mathematical and the statistical model you need to develop. Then data analysis should be done. Experimenting the controlled environment, you have to do the experiment, but it should be in the controlled environment, right? And then testing should be done with the changing variables. Then development of the various instrument based on the testing, and then lastly development of the quantitative techniques which you have used. Okay, so these are some basic characteristics. You can go through it. Okay, no need to remember any characteristics. Okay, just go through it. Understand what do you mean by quantitative approach. Means the approach which basically used to measure something based on the experimental and the judgmental work. Okay, so this is nothing but the quantitative approach. Now the system of a school management. What do you mean by system of a school management? So this school of management though was propounded by the Daniel Katz and the here the Ludwig Bohn. Okay, so this name you should remember. Okay, for exam point of view you have to remember. Okay, so here name you should remember, the school of a management. Which school? The system of a school management. The basically thought was basically given by Daniel Katz and the Ludwig Bohn. Here the Butlanfree. Okay, Butlanfree. Okay, name is very hard to pronounce, but somehow you have to just remember it. Okay, Daniel Katz you can easily remember, and you only remember the Ludwig Bohn. Okay, Ludwig Bohn B, like that. Okay, now see, they advocated the concept of the management being at an open system. So very simple. What is the management? It is an open system which is required to interact with the environment constantly for getting the resources which are both valuable and limited. So what is open system? According to the Daniel Katz and the Ludwig Bohn, the management, it is nothing but the open system, and that open system need to interact with the resources oftenly. Okay, that need to interact with the resources, and the resources you are very much aware, these are valuable and the limited resources. Okay, now the open system approach is important because the interaction between the organization and the outside forces which influences the action of the organization. So this is very important. What? The open system, because here you are interacting with the outside of the organization. So through example you can understand it. See, bank provide financial services and the product to its customer, and customer react it by liking or the rejecting the product. Got it? So we are having bank, right? So bank is having different products, say car loan. If the rate of interest of car loan is 15%, so obviously people will not get it from your bank, right? So main objective is to understand the external environment and conditions faced by the organization, finding a way to handle such a situation. So what situation bank can do? If a car loan rate of interest is 15%, which person will come and have the car loan in your bank? So you have to understand, and you have to reduce the rate of interest to 10% or 7%, like that. Then only people will come and take car loan from your bank. That means here you are interacting with the, here open system, the keyword is open system. Here you have to interact with the outer world. Okay, so remember here the system of a school management. Okay, so open system is here important keyword. Okay, and you have to understand the external environment, external factor you have to take care. Now see the contingency of a school management. Contingency school of the management. What do you mean by contingency? So here which we discussed, system school of management. Here contingency school of a management. So here what do you mean by it? See here school refer to the, school is basically the we can say it is the thought process. School here, it is not the school where you go up to say age 7 or 8. It is here school refer to the thought process. Okay, contingency school of a management means this school of a management thought was the sub branch. This school of management was an sub branch of a scientific behavioral and system approaches. It states that cannot be unique way of managing the organization which can be labeled as the best way to manage or lead the business. So according to this, see this school of management, though it is the sub branch of the scientific management or the behavioral management or even system management or the system approaches. So first thing you remember, this contingency school of management is nothing but what? It is a sub branch of the scientific management. It is sub branch of scientific management. Simple, got it? Now you cannot say, according to this thought process, contingency school of management, you cannot say that there is only one way. There is only one way to deal with the or to manage the organization. You cannot say like that. According to the contingency school of management, the best way is always depend on the contingent or on the internal or the external environment. Okay, in other words, there cannot be a standard solution to various business problems, right? Now each leader might deal the same situation in different way, right, depending on his leadership style, right? So studies on the behavior of the leader is conducted in 1950 by here Ohio State University and the University of Chicago. The finding of the scholars from both the university and almost it was similar, but they have given different names. Okay, so that it is just for your information. You don't need to be remember. Okay, but you remember only thing that findings were finding that Ohio State University and the Chicago State University, both the university have the same finding, but only name they have given different, and they have studied the behavior of the different leaders. What they have studied? They have studied the behavior of the leaders. Okay, so what do you mean by contingency school of management? Simply remember, every problem does not have the unique solution. The problem does not have the unique solution. Okay, the leader may deal the same problem by different ways because different leaders have different thought processes. Okay, so this is nothing but the contingency school of management. Okay, now what that theory is being criticized. What are the criticism to that theory, that school of that thought process? It is its thought is criticized. This thought is criticized. Why? For being reactive and for failure to be proactive, and for not providing some standard principle or the procedure for the situation or the problems. So why that theory is being criticized? So people say that the criticism has been done. Why people criticizes this theory? Simply they say this is only a reactive. Reactive means they will give reaction to the problem, but they will not they are not proactive to solve the problem. Okay, and failure to be proactive. So for failure they are proactive, but for giving solution they are only reactive. Reactive means they are reacting, but proacting means doing something to resolve the problem. Got it? Reactive and proactive. Got it? Reactive means simply reacting. Proactive means reacting plus giving some way to find the solution. That is proactive. Okay, so become a proactive, be proactive. And this theory, as it is only reactive, this theory do not provide any standard principle. What they say, according to this theory, one problem cannot be have only one way to solve it. Okay, every problem cannot be solved by same way or a single way. There is no unique standard method according to this approach, this thought process, and that's why this theory has been criticized, that they only say that no solution is there, no unique solution, but they don't provide the solution also. Right? Now this approach can turn out to be expensive in terms of the money and time, and development of a proper theory of a management principle become almost impossible. So according to this theory, we cannot able to develop or some principle which are you approved, right? So development of the principle is almost impossible based on this theory, because this theory is just a reactive theory. It is not proactive, but it is proactive to the failure. Okay, now so see, failure to be proactive, according to this theory, failure to be proactive. So if you are not doing anything, obviously you will get the failure, right? So further, continuous research give rise to the new approach to the management. And what are the new approaches? The total quality management and the learning organization. So we have to discuss that approaches. What do you mean by the total quality management? So total quality management. So see here, the approach organized in the Japan. This approach is originated in the Japan. So total quality management. Total quality management means you have to manage all the quality, That basically approach is originated in the Japan. Remember Japan. So there will be a question. Okay, remember Japan. After the Second World War, that means in the around 1945 plus 1945, right? Second World War. It focuses on the management of delivering high quality goods and services to its customer. So obviously, name itself, it is a total quality management. Means what? You are managing the quality. Origin is Japan, and what is the objective of this? Is simply high quality product you have to deliver to the customer. Simple. Now the four main elements are there of this approach. What are that? First is employee involvement. So obviously more employee involvement, if there is more employee involvement, then quality issue will be less. You can prevent that quality issue, right? Then second is customer focus. So to improve the quality, an organization need to be focused on the requirement of the customer. So what customer require, that only you have to provide in the better quality. Okay, that is customer focus is the one of the important element, and you have to give the product to the customer which are suitable to them, right? That is customer focus. Next element is standardization. It is important to use the industry standard as a benchmark for comparison with a competitor and for evaluating your own performance also. So it can help to improve the organization's progress. So obviously there should be a standardization so that you can compare yourself with your competitor and you can evolve yourself, right? So next element is continuous monitoring. So there should be a continuous monitoring and a changing for the better. Okay, there should be a continuous monitoring and there should be a change that should be result into the better and improved organizations products. Okay, so very simple, these are very simple terms, right? The four main elements you have to remember. Employee involvement should be there, customer centric approach, customer focus, standardization of the products, and the continuous monitoring. So these are the elements of the approach called as the total quality management. This is originated in the Japan, and target the thought is only deliver the high quality product to the customers. Okay, now see the name of the three main scientists or the psychologist. Okay, Deming, then Juran and Crosby. Okay, Deming, Juran and Crosby were three main contributor to the total quality management approach. So they will ask you which of the following is not a contributor to the total quality management. So remember the name Deming, Juran and Crosby. Now see the William Edgeworth, Deming. Okay, Deming, you remember the Deming only. Consider the quality of the people more important than the quality of the products. So there will be a question, one liner simple question. According to the Deming, which of the following is true? So quality of the people is more important than the quality of the product. Okay, so according to the Deming. Now see the Denim, that is a William Edward Deming, laid down the 14 principle of a total quality management. So you have to remember. Okay, here I will write. So the Denim have given the 14 principles. Okay, 14 principle has been given. Okay, about the quality management. Okay, so total quality you have to manage, then you have to follow that 14 principles. Okay, what are the principles? Just go through it one by one. Consistency of the purpose. What do you mean by consistency of the purpose? What is your purpose? Total quality management, better customer service, high quality product you have to give, right? High end products. So obviously you have to consistently improve your services on the product. Okay, next, adaptation of the new philosophy. Organization should adopt the new total quality management philosophy. Then ceasing dependence on the inspection. That means your organization should not only depend on the inspection. Okay, organization should stop depending on the inspection or for the achieving quality. To achieve the quality, only inspection is not the way. There should be motivation, there should be different ways. Okay, if you are only depend on the quality inspection, if some people are coming and they are checking the quality, if they are found something, then they will report like that. So depending on inspection should not be enough, right? Then stopping lowest bid system. What do you mean by low bid system? That means the person who asks for low price, then we will award them the contract. So that should be stopped, right? So the irrespective of the how much amount he was willing to bid, so the based on the quality it should be awarded. how much quality he is being delivered, right? So stop the lowest bid system. This practice is considering the price as the criteria for awarding the businesses contracts. That should be abolished, and total cost minimum minimized, having a lower number of supplier. So for the cost saving purpose, you can go for the suppliers having less supply. You can choose the less suppliers, you can go for it, you choose the less supplier, then in that way you can minimize the cost, but you should stop the lowest bid system, okay, for improving the quality. Then introduction of all around improvement. So constant improvement is important, okay, it may be in the planning, production and services, okay, that should be introduced and made a perpetual process. Perpetual means it is a continuous permanent process. Improvement should be the permanent, okay. Now institution on job training. So a modern on job training method should be established for the purpose of obviously training, right? Then instituting leadership. The culture of leadership should be adopted and initiated. Driving out fear. The organization should drive out the fear by improving the two-way communication. There should be a two-way communication so that there will be no fear, right? So these are the 8 principles, okay. So now see the next, breaking down the barrier. What do you mean by that? Obviously whatever the barrier between the staff or the department, that should be removed, okay, to improve the coordination. Then eliminating the exhortation means what? The workforce should not be given any other targets or even slogans or the exhorted to achieve the production level without devising the new methods, okay. If you are not giving any new method, new technology, and you are expecting that target or production should increase, okay, how it is possible? So there should not be a target, okay. I know you can easily remember this, okay. Eliminating the exhortations. Now eliminating the arbitrary numerical targets means what? Numerical target means what? Arbitrary numerical targets means fixing arbitrary production quota for the workforce, and number and numerical target for the management should be avoided. So whatever for example, you have targeted on a Y2Y basis, your bank should have increased the profit say 18%. So this is a arbitrary numerical target. How can we achieve? We cannot guarantee. There may be some situation like COVID which will result into the NPA, right? So we cannot guarantee that should be eliminated. Then permitting the pride of workmanship means what? The barrier to the pride of workmanship as well as the rating of merit system should be removed with the emphasis on improvement in the quality. So the merit system or the rating should be removed, okay. You know the rating is given now in the organization at the end of at the financial year. Even in the banks also rating is awarded, okay. Or band, they are having some bands, okay. Employee in A band, employee in B band, employee in the C band. A band means good category, B means average, C means low. Like that they are awarding the bands or the rating to the officers or the bank staffs, okay. So that should not be there. Now next is what? Encouraging the education, okay. So the vigorous program of a knowledge, education and the self improvement of the for everyone in the organization should be instituted. So obviously education is very important, right? So to improve the knowledge of your employee, to educate them, or even for the self improvement in the organization, different programs can be arranged. Apart from that, action for achieving the transformation means action should be initiated by the management for accomplishing the transformation by involving everyone, by conducting this seminar or even through the other means, okay. So you can conduct, the management can conduct the seminar for achieving the action for the transformation. Means what? Suppose you have to move from Finacle 7 to next level Finacle 10, okay, software upgradation. So how can you move? So obviously the management have to arrange some seminar or some other ways, means ways, other way, for example training. So by that way you can achieve the transformation from Finacle 7 to Finacle 10. You can migrate easily. So these are the things, 14 principle given, okay. That 14 principle given by the Deming, okay. You have to remember. You should remember at least the how many number of principles. So remember at least the number of quantity. If you are not able to remember all, okay, it is not even necessary. You remember the total 14. Okay, then next is the learning organization. What is learning organization? So simply, the organization cannot survive if it does not adapt itself to a dynamic competitive environment. Okay, so environment is continuously changing. Banks, see in your banks, how technology is being changed. Previously there were people supposed to visit the bank for deposit of money. Now the CDM, cash deposit machines are available, ATMs are available to withdraw the money, mobile banking, everything. That means to survive you have to compete, right? You have to learn, you have to compete. So the learning organization, it is defined as the organization where all the employee take a part in the identifying and solving the problem which it faces, and which permit the organization to continuously enhance its capacity to grow and learn, so as to achieve the goals. So obviously everything and you will be resulting in achieving the targets, right? So here, what do you mean by learning organization? Simply, learning organization means here all employees should take a part. Okay, they should identify the problem of the organization and they should able to solve it. Okay, and which permit the organization to continuously enhance its capacity and grow and learn. So basically, what is learning organization? The organization which allow its employees, okay, to identify their problems, okay, in accordance with the goal of the organization, and permit them to solve it, okay, permit them to learn it, permit them to develop, right? So these are the learning organization basically, right? So whatever the, see for example, if there is a bank, right, and there is the employee, that employee want to do the course of IIBF, right, and that IIBF course is a CCP, certified credit professional. So this is the learning part. So bank allows the employee of a 2 days leave for the examination of a CCP. Okay, so bank is the learning organization. So employee can learn CCP and that will be used for the bank's purpose. Okay, bank will be having certified employee and that can be work in better in the credit department. So that is nothing but the learning organization. Now the major contributor to this school of thought, okay, this is the thought process, right, was the Peter Senge, and he wrote the book The Fifth Discipline is the art and practice of learning organization. Okay, so that you have to remember, the Peter Senge has written the book called as the Fifth Discipline. The name of the book is Fifth Discipline, the art and practice of learning organization. Okay, remember the name Senge. And he defined the learning organization. How? In his book he wrote that organization where people continuously expand their capacity to create the result they truly desire, where new and the expensive pattern of thinking are nurtured, where collective aspiration is set free, and where people are continually learning to see whole together. So this is the definition written by the Peter Senge in his book The Fifth Discipline, the art and the practice of learning organization. Now see, there are 5 disciplines of a learning organization. So what are that 5 disciplines? Okay, first is the personal mastery, second is shared vision, third is mental model, and fourth is team learning, and last is system thinking. So one by one, just go through it. Personal mastery means what? See, personal mastery here it is, this involve creating an environment for growth of an employee, personal vision to achieve the personal goal, which will lead to the shared vision. So see, very simple. So there should be the environment in the organization. There should be environment in the organization which will help to grow the personal vision of the employee. Okay, and how the personal vision will grow? Obviously, if he achieve its personal goal, right, and that personal vision will then lead to the shared vision. Okay, shared vision of this bank, right? Now see, what do you mean by shared vision? So obviously business leader work with employee to achieve a joint vision, right? That is shared vision. So common vision should be there. Now they create an environment where employee feel that they were participating in the growth of the organization. So environment is important. Once there is a good environment, they can participate, employee can participate in the growth of the organization. Now what do you mean by mental model? A mental model assists in the developing our understanding about the impact of the assumption and the generalizations deeply ingrained in our minds. So mental model means what we are having assumption about. For example, say I am the SBI. So how what assumption I can have before joining SBI? Oh, it is very good job. Okay, there is a relaxed job. There is a huge respect in the society. Okay, so these are the assumption which are deeply ingrained in our minds. These are very general assumption. So these mental model assist us in developing our understanding about the impact of the assumption. So what that impact will do? Okay, so that can be analyzed using the mental models. Now team learning. So according to the Sage, which he have given the 5 principles, right? So according to the Sage, humility is a very basis of the team learning. What? Humility. Okay, remember, the team members should consider view of other people also and forget their personal biases, if any, right, for creating the collaborative work environment. Obviously, right, that is nothing but the team learning. And then system thinking means what? Everything is interrelated and interconnected. System means you have to think as a whole system. That means everything is interrelated, interconnected, and we need to look at the whole picture and understand how each part is connected. Okay, so this is nothing but the system thinking. You have to think as a system. So these are the 5 disciplines of a learning organization. Okay, that means if that 5 disciplines are being followed now, you can say this organization is nothing but the learning organization. Got it? Now the Sage has stated in the book the 5th discipline, that he has stated that the system thinking is a sensibility for the suitable interconnectedness that gives living system their unique character. Okay, now see, a learning organization is important. Why? Because it always tries to find improved and the innovative way for doing things and staying ahead in the competition. Effectiveness and the efficiency of a learning organization is very high. Learning organizations are having higher productivity and the output. Learning organization help in enhancing the image of the company. So that's why it is important, right? Very simple. Okay, now you can see here the management challenges and the opportunity. So see here several issues which are faced by the management. So what are the issues which are faced by the management? You can see here the issue which the business model which you are going to adapt. Then how to manage the information explosion, means what? Leak of information. Then how to manage the changes taken place every now and then. How to manage the threat of globalization, means how globalization can impact on the business. How to manage the impact of environmental suitability, environmental sustainability. Okay, so these are the issue which majorly management is facing. Okay, now see here there are some business models. Okay, these business models are based on the type of the clients, product or the revenue. Okay, so what business model you are having? For example, see, generally business model is based on the client. So depending on the client, your business model. Depending on the product, you may have business model. For example, your product is say a car. You are a car manufacturer, right? Your product is say different, like a soap. So different category, right? Depending on the revenue, you may have different business model, right? So these are very common depending on the client, product and the revenue. But there are some business models which are apart from that. Okay, that we will discuss here. Okay, very easy. See, the solution first is what? See here, solution providing or consulting services model. What do you mean by solution providing or consulting model? Simply, see, business provide consulting services which help to improve the client's operation. So obviously, see, for example, IBM using this model tremendously. IBM is doing a great outsourcing job, right? So they are providing the consultancy services to other companies. Okay, so that their operation can be improved. So IBM is outsourcing the employee to other organization for the purpose of consultation. So this is nothing but the consulting model. Okay, now see, second, profit pyramid model. So here, what do you mean by profit pyramid model? So here, customers are provided low priced product initially, and then gradually they are moved to expensive products. Okay, So this is nothing but the profit pyramid model. Profit pyramid means profit will increase slowly. Profit will increase slowly. Okay, it is like a pyramid, but initially they are offering low price, but at the top they are offering high price. Okay, so General Motors has followed this model. Initially they have given the cars at a less price, then they have started producing the expensive cars only. Okay, now multi-component system model. What is that multi-component system model? Multi-component system model means, simply see, multi-component means different component you are using. So such a models have been used by the company like a Gillette and the HP. So see, Gillette sold the cheaper razors for no profit, no loss, and they made money on what? High-end razor blades only. So Gillette is selling the razor, so you took razor, no problem. So whatever the blades used for the razor will have a high price. So obviously, right? Now see another example. HP has done it with printers and the cartridges. Once the customer buy the printer, it has to depend on the HP cartridges only. So obviously, so HP is selling the printer at a low cost, right? But the cartridges of HP printer are very having high price. So HP does not earn on the printer, they are going to earn on the cartridges. That is called as the multi-component system. So again here I will tell you the example. What is a multi-component system? Means here, for example, you are familiar with the good night. You are purchasing good night, right? Mosquito, right? Anti-mosquito. So if you purchase the good night machine, you will see that machine plus the liquid, machine plus liquid cost around 70 rupees, right? But if you purchase only liquid, it will cost around 65. What do you mean by that? Company offering the machine at a low price initially, but because you are depend on the liquid, good night liquid, that is cost is very high, so company is earning on that liquid. Got it? That is called as the multi-component model. Now next model is advertisement model. So here these model offer the basic product free and make money through advertising. For example, say YouTube, you watch video, you don't pay anything. On Google, you search anything, you are not going to pay anything, right? So these are free, but there are ads. So through ad the revenue is generated. Okay, now next is switchboard model. What is a switchboard model? So this model allow a firm to act as an intermediary for connecting multiple seller, right? So multiple seller means what? For example, multiple sellers connect with what? Multiple buyer. So obviously online e-commerce platform like eBay, Amazon, Flipkart, so these are connecting the buyer via Amazon seller. So these are the switchboard model. Through example you can connect. Now time model. Time model here, this model depend on how fast research and development happen, and a business which pioneers some new idea shall be successful initially itself till the other component join the bandwagon. Means what? This is nothing but, see, if you have some ideas, for example, if you have idea, say you have invented the car which run on the what? Which run on the water. Okay, suppose you have invented. So you have invented, you have started the production, and you become the one of the top brand. Okay, so this is nothing but the first or the early movers advantage in the market. Okay, you have idea, you have started production huge, you become the brand. That is the time model. Next is the efficiency model. Means what? A business following this model just wait for the market to be mature with the standardization of the product and enter with a low cost and low margin product with the mass appeal. For example, the Southwest Airline, then Walmart, or even Dell, the manufacturer of the laptops on the products computer. Okay, they have using this model. Okay, this is the efficiency model. For example, see a very good example. See electric vehicle nowadays. Okay, see, you can observe Maruti has not launched any electric vehicle. Because why? Maruti is very famous for their cheap or the economical cars. So they are not entering into the EV. They will wait until the EV cars is getting matured. There should be some standardization in the product. So once it is being established, then Maruti will enter into the electric vehicle and they will launch the economical electric vehicles. So these are nothing but the after maturity they will analyze, after standardization they will launch the product. Okay, very easy. Now the blockbuster model. Blockbuster model means it is used by industry which are having protection under the patent law. So when there is a patent, you can refer it as a blockbuster. For example, pharma companies or the film industry. So for example, a film, say there is a film of say Rajnikant, Shivaji the Boss. Okay, so they are having their rights, Shivaji the Boss. Okay, so who will watch that? Obviously you need to buy some ticket, you need to watch it on some platform like I say Netflix or the Amazon. You have to pay some fee for subscription. So these are the blockbuster model. There are some patents, some rights. Got it? These are the blockbuster model. Okay, now next is what? Profit multiplier model. Profit multiplier model. This model involve developing the concept which may or may not be profitable, but these are used for driving other product. For example, say Walt Disney, they have used their cartoons for developing the theme park and the merchandise. For example, they have given the permission to use that cartoon on the for different merchandise purposes. For example, printing on the t-shirt like that. Okay, and then license they have given. Okay, so they have earned a huge profit using that cartoons. Now next is entrepreneurial model. Entrepreneurial model means what? This model deal with the offering a specialized product. For example, they are not attractive to the large competitor but have potential to grow further. Okay, got it? Entrepreneurial means they are not in the phase that suddenly they can grow, but they have the capacity to grow fast, right? So many cases today where big companies like a Tata have acquired the smaller player with which have the potential. Means what? See, 1mg is a company which is supplying the medicine online. So this is acquired by the Tata. Okay, because Tata find the potential in 1mg, that will be one of the important in the future. Okay, fast growth can be observed in the future. These are the entrepreneurial model. Now see, de facto industry standard model. What do you mean by de facto? The free product, de facto. So that means free product are offered at a very low cost. You will get either a free product or you will get product at a very cheap rate, low cost. Why? To increase the market share, for saturating the market, to make the everybody talk about the product, and a great brand in the industry is to be established. Subsequently, user are offered a high-end and high-margin product. For example, Microsoft used this strategy. So you know Microsoft. So see, you can get the Windows version of any cracked free version of operating system. You can get easily anywhere, you can download. But the same the thing, if you have to use in the bank cannot use the downloaded free version, cracked copy. Bank has to use the license copy. So the price Microsoft know that different people are using the Windows or different operating system by downloading from the websites freely, but still for the official purpose you need to purchase it. And once you are familiar with the Windows at which is freely available, how you can go for other operating system like Linux. So this strategy is implemented by the Microsoft, called as the de facto. So another example, say Geo. Okay, Geo, initially they offered a free data. It become popular, it become a brand. Now they are offering 666 rupees for 84 days, right? So this is the model called as the de facto industry standard model. So once you give it a free, give it at a very low price, then you have to be established the industry standard and sell it a high price later on, like that, right? So this is the de facto industry standard model. Now de facto, right? Now next is the information explosion. What do you mean by information explosion? Means leakage of the information. Means what? Leakage of the information. So how information can be leaked? By the way of hacking or by the way of some employee if leaking the data, right? So that is the information explosion. So see one by one. See, due to the digital revolution, it has resulted in the explosion of the information at a scale, right? Obviously digitally, if you connect the any small pen drive, you can get large data, right? Due to the digital revolution, the data storage and data retrieval, processing of the data, analyzing of the data is also becoming now more difficult and the technical and the challenging. There is also scope for deliberate spread of the misinformation and the disinformation. The issue pertaining to the privacy need to be addressed with the help of the technology. This is all about the information. This is all about the information explosion. Now, managing the change. What do you mean by managing the change? Simply, there is nothing permanent except the change. Only change is the permanent, right? This is statement by the Heraclitus. Only constant thing in the world is change, right? That is, nothing is permanent except the change. Business environment is not static, it is also always changing all the time. The foremost challenge faced by the management relate to the resistance for change from people. Generally, when people are well settled in the job, they don't want to be come out of their comfort zone. So obviously, nobody want to come out of their comfort zone, right? So the management is facing some challenges. Why? Because some their employee learn new techniques of the management. Okay, they don't, some of the employee don't want to learn the new techniques, they don't want to adopt the new technology, and don't want to go training, don't want to undergo any training for their skills, for to improve their skill. They don't want training, they don't want new technology, don't want any thing to be adopted, right? So that's why it is very one of the important problem of resistance from the employee to the management. Now, new product and services. So a continuous customer feedback and the research done by the company play important role in the development of the new product or even services. So if you have the car loan which is having rate of interest 12%, so people will not take the car loan from your bank, right? So you the feedback you are getting that your rate of interest is very high, so you will evolve your product of a car loan, you will decrease the rate of interest, right? So this is nothing but the new product and the services getting evolved. It is very important for the management to ensure that new products are developed carefully and being tested properly before they are launched. Okay, so the bank is doing very great analysis when they are launching the product. They have to take care of their net interest margin, NP and all that. Okay, so that is being done at the BOD level. Now, technological changes. See, we live in the time where there is a inflation, when there is a inflection point in the customer's behavior. If we do not get our innovation programs right, we will become irrelevant very quickly. So this is a statement by the president and CEO of Maybank of Malaysia. Okay, so you just go through it, you don't need to remember. So technology is changing in the, and the world is impacting its businesses. Okay, due to the change in the technology, obviously the businesses are going to be impact. For example, say petrol and diesel vehicles was there, right? Now we are moving to the electrical vehicles. Okay, we are moving to the driverless car. ADAS feature is there, ADAS feature in the cars. So now robots are doing the surgery with high accuracy, right? That means due to the technology, you have to adapt the technology and you have to move further. You have to adapt the technology and you have to learn from the technology. Okay, you have to be adapt with the changing environment. Now, in case of a bank, you can say fintech is changing the role, and the relevance of the banking is now changing, and is also a new business model that is going to cause a lot of disruption in the banking. So fintech, for example, say fintech means say Bharat Pay. Bharat Pay. Bharat Pay is a company. Okay, so only one QR code they are providing to the merchants, shopkeeper. So shopkeeper receive money. That money will go to the Bharat Pay. So Bharat Pay account in the Bharat Pay account. So merchant can withdraw it. Okay, but mostly merchant is not withdrawing unless it is needed. So Bharat Pay utilize that money for lending purpose to the other merchants. So in this way, Bharat Pay as a fintech come into the picture as a substitute to the bank at some level. So obviously it is going to be disruption in the banking sector. So it is very much challenging nowadays for the bank, right? So employment management. See, nowadays banking is almost available in the phone. Everything you can do in the phone, right? So you can say it is very much challenging henceforth. Now see the employee management. A manager sets objective, organizes, motivates, and communicates set yardsticks and measure to develop the people. Okay, according to the Peter Drucker. Now, human capital has become very vital for any organization in today's scenario. The main challenge before the management is to create the environment where employees love to work and give their best, where performance is rewarded, where organization's objectives is to be achieved, and employee develop a bond of loyalty. So this is the most important employee management, and the most important is environment. There should be a proper environment, and only if the environment is available, then only employee can do their best and get to achieve the objective of the organization. Now see, globalization and the environmental sustainability. We are moving toward the global economy. One way of approaching that is to pull the cover over your head. Another is to say it may be more complicated, but that's the world I am going to live in, and I might as well as be good at. Okay, so basically this is the only theory statement. Okay, statement given by the former chairman of CEO of Boeing. So basically it is saying globalization you cannot avoid. Okay, according to the Phil Candid, who was the former chairman of Boeing, he said that you cannot avoid the globalization. Okay, so without environmental sustainability, economic stability, and social cohesion, it cannot be achieved. So these are different economists, you can say, or the pioneers in their field. They have given the statement. You don't need to worry about it. Okay, now see to the syllabus. Impact of the globalization. Okay, so what is impact of the globalization we are having, that we will discuss. Globalization has brought many changes. Globalization means what? Connecting with other world. For what? For the purpose of trade, right? So it created a lot of opportunity for the businesses. Whole world become the single market. Now Indian person, right? Indian person can sell their product. Indian businessman can sell their product in the USA, right? So increase in the export, enter into the collaboration, joint ventures is being established, borrow from the international market with the cheaper rate, and set up the subsidiary abroad. So this is possible due to the globalization. And you know, in 1991, India has adopted the LPG. LPG is liquid. LPG is your privatization, globalization, and liberalization. LPG reform, liberalization, privatization, globalization. Okay, now globalization impact on the environment due to the following reasons. What do you mean by globalization? Simply connection with the other world. India is connecting with other country by the way of a culture, by the way of a trade, by the way of their different activity. Okay, this is nothing but the globalization, and the important it is we connect with the world, and the main you remember by the way of trade. Okay, you do the trade, that means you are globally connected. Okay, now globalization impacting the environment due to the following. So how globalization impact the environment? See, due to the increase in the transport of the goods, this has resulted in increased emission, destruction of the inhabitat, and a harmful effect on the various species. So obviously this will happen. More the transport, more the emission of the gases, more harmful to the environment. Economic specialization. Globalization has resulted in overuse of the natural resources, reduction in the forest area, forest cover, and loss of the habitat. That is nothing but the economic spatialization. Then reduced biodiversity means due to the globalization, climate change, reduction of the forest, loss of the habitat, then greenhouse gas emission. These all have contributed for the reduction in the biodiversity. Okay, so these are a very basic route. Now see, impact of the environmental sustainability means what? The global challenges in what are the global challenges we are having? Globally we are having challenge. We means the world we are having as a universe. We are having poverty challenge, inequality. Inequality refer to the poor and rich. Okay, inequality. Then climate change, environmental degradation, peace and justice. So these are the global challenge: peace and justice, Ukraine Russia war, India China disputes. Okay, these are the global challenges we are facing. Now to considering these challenges, United Nations has fixed the 17 SDG. SDG stands for Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, so which are blueprint to achieve the better and most sustainable future. So you remember how many SDGs are there? There are 17 total sustainable development goals we are having. Okay, so just go through it one by one. Goal 1 is no poverty. Goal 2 is zero hunger. Goal 3 is good health and well-being. Goal 4 is quality education. Goal 5 is gender equality. Goal 6, clean water and sanitation. Goal 7, affordable green energy. Goal 8, decent work and the economic growth. Goal 9 is industry innovation and the infrastructure. 10th is reduced inequality. Goal 11 is sustainable city and the community. 12th is responsible consumption and the production. Goal 13 is about the climate change. 14 is life below the water for the aquatic, right? 15th is life on the land. 16th is peace, justice, a strong institution. 17th is partnership. So these are the 17th what sustainable development goal called as the SDG given by the United Nations. Remember, okay, out of that the most important is 13th, which you must remember. It is about the climate action. Okay, remember, it is the climate action. Okay, now here we will stop. The remaining part will be discussing in the next video. Okay, meanwhile you can subscribe our YouTube channel Banker Zone on the YouTube. You have to download the application from Play Store. Okay, Banker Zone app. To download the application, link is given in the description. You can join our Telegram channel for the discussion CAIIB Banker Zone. For that you can directly search at the rate CAIIB You can directly search to join our notes for the CAIIB Banker Zone official name. You can search for the notes, or you can search at the rate CAIIB. For that you can search at the rate Bankers Zone JIIB CIIB. Okay, this is link or the search keyword for the group. This is our group and this is our channel. Okay, and this is the contact. You can find any help during study. Thank you.